Hello, hello everyone. Happy Tuesday and welcome to Pose of the Week. Glad you can join me. So, what's holding you back from your heart's desire? What's holding you back from life's adventures? What's the first thing that pops into your mind? No matter how obscure, no matter what it is, maybe you even want to jot it down. What does this have to do with the knees? Well, often our knees are representative of our ability to take a step forward into life, to take action, to move forward. And have you ever seen that image where the little kid holds on to someone's calf, wrapping right beneath the knee, and they're trying to drag them along? They're trying to continue to walk. Well, it's very difficult to move forward, to get that knee to actually bend. You almost have to stifle it a bit so that you can get your hip to work. Now, when you focus on the knees and what that has to do with moving forward, if you are not aware of your knees and you're letting them collapse in your yoga practice, you're not creating the structure and the stability physically in order to enable your heart's desires to have a firm foundation to be brought into being, right? And all that sounds really silly, maybe a bit out there, esoteric, although it really is quite amazing when you start to see what's going on in your body in reflection to what's going on in your thought patterns, what's going on in your emotions. So for example, for me, I've had a really intense sore throat for the last couple of days. Now, maybe that's because of allergies. Here in Cincinnati, in the Valley, we've got lots of allergens. Or maybe it's a virus, who knows? I'll figure it out soon enough. But maybe it's also me giving voice to something new. Am I stuffing something down that just wants to come out of my heart that maybe I'm just not speaking into clearly? And that's been an interesting journey for me, looking into that and journaling and writing, and I'll share that journey with you over time. But for now, your knees are a reflection of what's holding you back. Welcome, who's joined. Say a quick hello to me in the comments so I know who's here. So when your knees are in a yoga position, they can be vulnerable if we're not engaging the muscles. So when you have a heart's desire or a dream, you want to set down a strong foundation. It's kind of like creating fertile soil, as one of my teachers say. Instead of just tossing the seeds, the plant seeds down on that hard and cracked ground, you want to tend it. You want to nurture the soil a little bit first. So when you throw the seeds down, you'll have blossoms and growth. So with your knees, in order to feel safe and stable, you need to have the structure of the feet firmly planted, the four corners of the feet rooting. We've talked about that. The toes spreading so the outer shins hug in. Hello, Rita. How fantastic to see you. Rita, you were with me at Heart's Desire with Sonia Choquette. How fantastic and synchronistic that you're here too, as I talk about Heart's Desire and happy knees in our side angle pose, and I think I said warrior one. So from here, what I'm going to have you do is just something very simple to see what's going on with your knees and your feet. So you're going to just march in place. It seems really silly, but we want to come into our regular patterns. And then you freeze. Don't try to change anything, and check out your feet. The thing that we're looking for, you could say, is that the feet are parallel from the center of the ankle to the second toe. Because if one of your feet are standing out, got a little attitude going on, this will affect the knees. Now don't change your feet, but notice where your kneecaps are pointing. Because often our knees will accommodate the pattern that's shown up in the feet. And we want to get the feet to begin the foundation and then set the knees up. So knowing what your pattern is, feet hip distance now, and make them parallel from the center of the ankle to the second toe. You're going to bend your knees, just bend them any old way. And notice if your knees come together. Now from here, as the knees are bent, lift and spread the toes. So those four corners of the feet really root. Now as you're spreading your pinky toes, your outer shins will firm. Now into that firmness, press your inner thighs wide. So the kneecaps are as wide as the ankles, and they're pointing in the same direction as your toes. Now with this strong foundation, root the toes into the floor. Imagine drawing your legs up like you're pulling up pants from the feet to the calves, to the thighs, all the way to the hips. And your hands can just root and lengthen from the hip bone down through the feet. Awesome. One more time. Bend your knees. Notice if they want to fall in. Lift and spread your toes. Strong foundation, fertile soil for our dreams to go in, grow in. As those toes spread, the outer shin's firm. Now, a little extra bonus here. As you spread those toes, I'm going to have you bend even lower. Take your hands to the widest part of the outer shin. Use your hands now to squeeze your shins towards one another. And your inner thighs, this time, roll them in, back, and widen them apart so that the knees stay as wide as the ankles and the kneecaps point towards the toes. One more breath, shins pressing in, inner thighs pressing out. And then release the toes, root from the feet, and come all the way up. Awesome. All right, let's put that into a high lunge. So you're just going to come face this way to the tippity top of your mat. We're going to reach the arms high to the sky. Start with the legs bending, the inner thighs moving back, hands to thighs. Now as you're ready, bring your hands to the floor and step your right leg back, high lunge. Now in this very beginning position, make sure, like mountain, from the center of the ankle to second toe, you've got your toes pointing forward, and you lift and spread your toes. Four corners of the feet root. We're going to plant strong roots. And as you work that pinky toe, you get that outer shin firming, cute little dimple, and tack the outer right hip back. Good. Release the right toes to the floor. And keeping that right knee pointing forward, you're going to lift up through the chest. And if you feel steady, lift the arms up alongside the ears. One more breath here, tacking that front outer hip crease back so the knee continues to point forward, keeping it safe. And then exhale, hands to the floor. We'll try the other side. So right foot comes forward, left foot steps back. The feet are about hip distance. Again, right foot from center of the ankle to second toe pointing forward. Wrap your left hip forward so you can really tack that outer right hip back. The goal is to have the right knee facing the second and the third toe. From there, root down through the right foot and maybe sweep the arms alongside the ears. And it's a constant play, right? Just like it is in life, of tending the soil, tending your plant, and stepping away and letting it grow. So as you're here, the four corners of the feet root, you wrap that back hip forward, tack the front outer hip back, and then lengthen. Here's the growth. From the belly to the front knee, from the belly back to the back leg. Exhale, hands to the floor, and step forward. From the forward bend, hands to hips, shoulder blades on back, sides of the neck lift, come up. Now, wide stance. We're going to make this a little more interesting. Wide stance, feet are as wide as the wrist. Turn your right leg in, left leg open. And again, foundation from center of ankle to second toe points to the edge of the mat. You're going to track left knee over the ankle. While you're here, remember when we press the shins in and we move the inner thighs back, you want to be able to recreate that. First by lifting and spreading the left toes so the outer shin hugs in. Now as that outer shin muscle hugs in, you're going to press the left inner thigh behind you, so to speak. So that left knee faces second and third toe. Keeping that, release your toes, extend your arms out to a T, and we keep the knees happy. And those thoughts that pop up, those things holding us back, we acknowledge them like a cloud in the sky. And I invite you to release it or to think of it just passing by, like you'd lie on your back in cloud watch. Inhale, come up. Turn the left leg in, right leg open. And you track right knee over ankle. And you make sure that the second toe is pointing to the top of the sticky mat, that the right heel is in line with the left arch. I have to readjust. As the feet press down, hug the legs towards one another so we stabilize our joints, we stabilize and create strong foundation. Lift and spread right toes, tack the outer right hip back. It's another way to help you press that inner thigh open. Release the toes, arms extend into a T. One deep breath, long warrior two. And then inhale, root from hips to feet to come up. Feet parallel, and you can bring fingertips together, step or jump, feet together. I'm going to create a little sequence for you that you can flow through, mindful of the knees and what they're doing. So from here, bending the knees, step or jump, nice and wide. Turn your right leg in, left leg open, and track the left knee over the ankle. From here, as the four corners of the feet root down, hug the legs towards each other so you feel very steady. This is going to create strength for you, belief, and steadiness in your dreams. Turn the left palm to the sky and lean back. And as you lean back, tack the outer left hip crease back, encouraging that left knee to face forward towards the second and third toe. On the inhale, come up through warrior two, and then windmill your arms over your left leg, pivoting onto the ball of the right foot. With the feet hip distance, tack that outer left hip back so the knees facing forward. On inhale, sweep chest and arms up. A warrior series, because when we follow our heart's desires, our heart's dreams, it takes courage. Exhale, hands to the floor. From here, pivot the toes to face the edge of the sticky mat, and from the wide angle, hands to the hips, shoulder blades out of the back, lift the chest. Last eye, left leg turns in, right leg opens. Extend the arms, track right knee over ankle, warrior two. What would you be a champion for? What would you rally for? You know, that dream that you may have been stuffing way down deep into your heart. Are you ready to let it come out through the chimney of the heart, as Sonia Choquette calls it, the throat? Turn the right palm to the sky, lean back, left hand to outer shin or thigh. And you're working here. We're not just lounging in this reclining warrior, but outer right thigh presses to the edge of the mat. Inhale through center and windmill the arms over the front leg, pivoting onto the ball of the back foot. Hug those thighs towards each other, and then inhale, sweep the arms up alongside ears, a modified warrior. One deep breath. Exhale, hands to the floor. You're going to pivot toes to face the side of the mat, walk hands to the middle, hands to the hips, shoulder blades on the back, sides of the neck lift. And as you come up, you can step or jump the feet together. Awesome. I'm so glad you joined me. If you have questions about the series we did, please post them below. But the most important thing as you move forward is that you pay attention to where your knees are facing and to realize that we have to engage our muscles in order to align our bones so that the thigh bone and the knee bone are facing forward. We start with the foundation, which means creating a very nurturing soil that's ready for all sorts of heart desires to grow in them. So thank you for joining me. It's wonderful to have you. Hi, Rita. I'm looking at your little comments. I love seeing you here. What an amazing experience we had at Sonia Choquette's weekend, creating your heart's desire. Now, there's so many layers to the adventures in life, and I invite you to join me next Tuesday. We're going to talk about really an adventure flowing through our sun salutes and maintaining our roots so that the transitions are done with great gracefulness and ease, because the transitions can be very rewarding. It's the best way to say it. So join me next Tuesday, 12:30 here on Facebook Live, and we'll put together a little flow for our transitions. All right, have a great, great day, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Mwah! Lots of love. Bye.